So I am LaShaun Prescott, founder and artistic director of the dance company Elle NYTT. We recently had our school show. It was held at Trinity Bishop's. 200 kids. I don't know how on earth we managed to do this show with 200 kids. It's 200 kids. The school show usually features all our classes. We have ballet, modern, soca, Caribbean fusion, hip hop, dancehall. We had a Latin number. So it's really just as the company slogan says, experience different styles. So we like to encourage people to come and try different styles of dance and give them the opportunity to showcase it on stage. Kids and adults from 3.5 years. We have classes at our studio in Curab, and we also have a branch in Cascade, and we operate as well out of the fitness center gym in Maraval. So we have these 3 locations that we do classes. Our term is on a break right now. We start back in September with a bang. We're going hard. We have maybe around 25 classes a week. Yeah, at the 3 locations. And we also, how can I forget this? We have a branch in New York, Elle NYTT for New York and Trinidad and Tobago. So our New York branch is currently at the Mark Morris Dance Center. We have a soca class every Saturday. It's being run by Candice Thompson. I will be there in August. I will be teaching. Look out for it. I started modern dance with LaShaun, and I was doing gymnastics at the time, and it was, my mom felt that I should get more grace for my gymnastics routine, so I started dancing as well. I also did ballet at the Caribbean School of Dance, and throughout the years I've just experimented in different styles. So I've done hip hop, and I've done Latin, and I've done folk, and I've performed with quite a lot of the companies in Trinidad. So it was Trinity Dance Theatre, Carol LaChapelle, Asta Johnson Repertory Dance Theatre, and then there was an audition for Machel Montano's Jumbie music video. I think that was back in 2007, and we did the video. It was quite an amazing experience. And this is I have to say this because people associate me dancing with Machel Montano, and I have performed with so many artists. I used to be like I don't even know what to call it. On Soca Monarch stage, you run on with one artist, you come back off. Destra, Bungie, Iowa, like we've done so many artists. My first performance on Soca Monarch stage was with Precious, riding it, and so eventually we, after we did the Jumbie music video and we started doing performances with Machel, it was, at that time, it was the thing. You dance with one soca artist, you're not going on stage with anyone else, So we performed, and I toured with Machel for maybe 7 years. I'm saying 7 is my favorite number, but I think it's actually 7 years. We performed and toured the Caribbean, Toronto, so Canada, because it was actually more than Toronto, the US, Europe, a couple of places in Europe, and he has done songs with Pitbull. So at the time we were invited to do a tour with Pitbull. It was 22 states in the US. An amazing experience. I mean, this is like you're on a tour bus, 3 buses, you pull up into one state, you unpack, load up, build up the stage, do a show that night, back onto the bus into the next state. It was like something else. And a lot of people would be like, all you with Machel long haul, I don't know how if we can't keep those dancers. And then at the time I was applying to different schools, so I had applied to 3 schools in the US. I got accepted into NYU to do my MFA in dance, and because I was going on a student visa, I wasn't able to work for the first year. So I was like, okay, I guess this is where I am going to have to hesitantly call it quits. And these stories go on and on. They say all sorts of stuff, but that was the reason why I had to stop dancing with Machel. I'm going to be 36 this year. Wow. In August. I've been truly blessed because my family has we have genes that keep us looking pretty young. My mom, my dad, and I feel coupled with that genetic aspect, it's like the dance really keeps me physically active so much during the week and during the days that I think that really helps me.
So you still dance?
I do. Dance? I teach. I teach a ballet class. I teach ballet, modern. I'm doing a Caribbean. When is this going to be released? I'm doing a Caribbean contemporary workshop on Thursday. It's going to be at Cascade Studios, and I'm really trying to explore, because for me, and as we were talking before, having something online, especially when you use social media and stuff like YouTube and stuff, it really opens your audience to more international markets. And I've been trying to see how many different ways I can push elements of our own culture. So, you know, I've done modern and I've done contemporary classes, and I've, you know, with the persons that I've been working with, we've been toying around with the idea of Caribbean contemporary. So this is another area that I'm trying to push, not only in Trinidad, but I'm also going to be doing a workshop in New York in August. I believe it's August the 13th. And it's really trying to push that Caribbean flavor among the more mainstream aspects of dance and stuff. So I teach Caribbean contemporary, Caribbean fusion, soca classes, modern, and ballet. Listen to me, I did, and you know, it's so weird because you have these classes, you post these little videos up on YouTube, and people comment, and people, you know, there was one lady who said, hey, you know, I have a soca, she does like a soca aerobics class in Atlanta, I would love for you to come across and do a workshop here. That was my first workshop outside of New York. It was in Atlanta. You know, you get so amazed and feel so overwhelmed by these experiences. We loaded that video up onto YouTube. I got another request to do a workshop in Guadeloupe. So last year, I think could have been October, we did one in Guadeloupe. Also in discussions with doing another second edition. It will be Guadeloupe and Martinique. I did one in London last year, and you think, okay, this little Trini girl, you know, because these places are so competitive when it comes to dance. So I was worried, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna try to go for it. Advertise a soca dance workshop in Pineapple Studios, and the people came. And Pineapple Studios is in London. You know, and you see all these people coming and they're whining and they're doing these things that are part of your culture, and it's really an amazing thing to see when people embrace your culture in other parts. And I know we have a large Caribbean diaspora as well in all these places, and I think that really helps them accept this style of dance as opposed to just the, you know, all the other mainstream, just modern and ballet and hip hop and stuff. Accept our culture as well. I live my life in a very optimistic manner. I believe that regardless of whatever happens, whether it's negative or not, it's happening for a reason. And I, you know, people say the Lord and stuff, I call him the big man. I said there's a reason why the big man is letting all these things happen. It's because it's meant to be, and I really trust in, you know, people say that I live my life, I make decisions on a whim. A lot of people don't understand the rationale and the reason behind why I do certain things, because like say for example, I was working at the Ministry of Trade and Industry for a very long time. I had a very prestigious position at the ministry, and I was touring with Machel and having to do rehearsals late in the night and still wake up to go to an 8 a.m. meeting. And at the time I decided that I wanted to do dance full time. And people said, LaShaun, are you crazy? You know? But that was like one of my main examples that I use for how I make decisions and how I go through life. Like really trusting that the path that you're supposed to take is the path that you will end up taking, and you kind of have to trust the big man along the way. I am so many things. I would say I am a choreographer. I am a performer. I would say I'm an artist. I would say I am, I think most importantly, a friend to so many people, because that's really, it's having a support system and providing a support system for people while you can kind of get through the difficult times. So that's the most important thing, a friend. My best time would definitely be performing on stage with Machel. Sometimes just, you know, you talk about energy, and when you're on a stage with thousands of people in a crowd in front of you, and you're feeling that energy coming from them, and knowing that it's part of your performance, kind of giving and taking that energy, I think that was like just one of the most, you know, that was my...
That's your best time.
That's my best time. And my worst time... My worst time was... I had to do an appendix surgery, and it just happened very, like, you know, it was all of a sudden, and it was in the middle of the season. I had done some shows, and then I had to stop, and being off stage and looking at everyone else perform. It was the first time I'm in the crowd looking at my family on the stage and I'm not there. I think that was one of my worst times. I'm convinced that I'm still a little child. I think I'm having an eternal childhood. Growing up, I grew up in Arima. Yeah, Arima. Hey. It was, you know, I have to say this because I've been looking at the trend of family lives, not only in Trinidad and Tobago but worldwide. And you see people, they come to school and they say, okay, this is my stepdad, or this is my that families tend to not stay together. And I grew up in a household where I knew my mom and my dad together for my entire life, and I know that that's very rare now. My sister, she's actually, can I say this? I was styled by my sister. She's LaShaun Prescott, Simply Styling. She put together this outfit. She's doing amazing work. And we grew up together. It was my sister and I. Two of us, complete family. It was I can't say that I don't have that sad story to say that I had a hard childhood and I struggled to grow up. My family was so supportive and like such a well-knit, like that is something that I give thanks for every day, like just having that support system of the family coming up and still having it today.
So high school, so mom and dad still around?
They're still around.
They still have a good relationship.
Dancing, they go to dance classes. They do Latin classes on maybe 3 times a week. You see them practicing in the kitchen, you know, mommy will be cooking or whatever, and daddy will just take her and they're doing a little 2 steps practicing. It's the cutest thing to see.
Stop.
I went to Providence Girls Catholic School. I did my CXC there. I started dancing at 13, so I would have danced, you know, and this, can I say this to all you parents who would call and say, oh, my daughter's not coming to classes because she's doing CXC or she's doing these exams coming up. Dance really helps you through these stressful periods. My parents never took me out of a dance class. Coming up, CXC I was dancing, A-levels I was dancing, UE I was dancing through all my examination periods. And I think it helped, like it really helps you relieve the stress and stuff. So I danced throughout my entire secondary school, going straight up through UE, through, check me now. I can't say it was like just one moment. It happened along the way. It really happened along the way. I think it could have been during the time that I was doing Synergy TV's TNT #1 dance crew, and I was judging on that show. We did 2 seasons, so being on TV all the time and people, you know, seeing your face right through, and then people, you know, would start making me out on the street and, oh, hi, you're LaShaun. I'm like, hi. And I have a really bad memory, so I would think, okay, maybe I went to school with this person and I'm not remembering. Could you remind me where I know you from? And they're like, no, I just know you from TV or something, you know. So I think that was like, you know, and just doing features and stuff, yeah. The biggest lesson that I've learned would be to not stay down when you fall down. And even if you're coming up to things that keep blocking you and you're feeling like you're frustrated and stuff, do not stop. Like, they would always have an alternative. You're going down the corridor and this door locked, keep walking down the corridor until you find a door that's open. It's been an amazing life. I have had a great life. You know, people, you know, everyone will have challenges along the way. Everybody's have their little problems, you know. And we're not saying that. I'm not saying that I've had zero problems coming up, but I feel like there have been so much positive moments that they just outweigh all the stress that you just have to go through. I just have stress in life, but I think the positive really outweighed. Great life. People ask me that a lot. They ask me that specifically if I regret leaving the Ministry of Trade. And I would admit that there are moments, there are moments when you think, like say for example, you think, I remember going into the ministry with another colleague of mine, and we both did our first degree together, we did our masters together, we're coming up like this, and then I see him and he's like the director of this, and you think, I wonder where I would have been if I stayed along that path. You think of it, but you don't dwell on it, and I don't think I would say that it's very much of a regret per se, but I do have those thoughts that pass through my mind. I am afraid of becoming irrelevant. I think, in this industry, it's so easy to just not be important anymore, and like some new trend comes up or some new big thing, some other style of dance or something that just people just, all right, okay, that needs to be LaShaun, and I'm afraid of coming to a point where Elle is no longer, it's just dwindled to nothing, or just, the entire school has just crumbled. I think that's something that continues to drive me to keep going. Yeah. I would probably be because my first career path was actually in economics. My first degree was in economics. My first master's degree was econ. So I think if I didn't make that decision by ministry and like go along this route of dance, I would probably be very much into economics. That was my thing. I wanted to do things like United Nations, and that was another dream that I had. My OMG moment was while I was in class at NYTT, and I got this phone call. And they're like, "Hi LaShaun, I'm calling from the Mark Morris Dance Center. We'd just like to know if you'd be interested in joining our faculty and teaching your soca class weekly here at the Mark Morris." Are you kidding me? Yes! That's my OMG moment.
OMG.
OMG.